Hi, I'm Laura Bartow from Studio One Stampers. This is a super exciting time of year. This catalog, our annual catalog, just announced its retired list, or last chance list, I guess is a better way to say it. Anyway, there are a gazillion products in here that have just been put on sale. And I wanted to show you a great way to get amazing value out of your last chance order, as well as learning all kinds of new things. So let me tell you a little bit about this class. I'm calling this class my Hidden Gems class. So what I've done is I've taken things from the catalog that many people don't even know are there, and I have showed you how to do a super fantastic technique with each of those items from the catalog. I picked things that I have loved in my collection, but didn't get a chance to use as much as I wanted. So this class is all about value. It's about a value for you to learn new things to do with not just these stamps and accessories, but for you to do with your whole collection of stamps and accessories. It's going to teach you how to increase your usage of the things you already own and give you a chance to purchase a few more things, some at fantastic up to 60% discounts. So this is just amazing. What I want to tell you a little bit first, though, is about some of the changes that are in our catalog. I just recently released a video which was called My Favorites from the annual catalog. And I was just trying to unravel the lists and lists and lists of things that are in there, to use my experience and my love of stamping to show you the best things that I think are in the catalog. So I released that list and that video showing you what those things are. Now these are the hidden gems. So these aren't on that list. These are things that you have to know your catalog, you have to know stamping to find them. Well, let me tell you a little bit about this last chance. I want to tell you a little bit about colors. So if you look over here, you're going to see that there are a whole bunch of colors. Now, every year we get rid of our in colors, and I should say retire them. And this year we're getting rid of 4 out of 5 of them. And so I have a list here of the 4 that are leaving. I've used some of those colors in great combinations for this class. And this other list here is the list of colors that are actually leaving our line for right now, our general color line. And they're going to be replaced by either returning colors from our previous in colors or some brand new colors. We've got 4 brand new colors that Stampin' Up! Has never had before. So that's what's going on as far as colors. And then here with these cards, what I've done is I've picked some of the great tools, great accessories in wonderful color combinations and using great techniques. Now, this class happens over in just a little while. It's happening in April. But if for some reason you can't get here for this class, you are going to want to get the tutorial. The tutorial is only $20 and you'll get a full video, full instructions, and you'll get to know all the products that are being used in this. So I hope that you will love trying this class, whether you do it just with a tutorial or you actually are able to come in person. So let me go ahead and show you up close the hidden gems of products and techniques that I've used for each one of these cards. Let's take a look. Well, I think this is just a stunning, stunning card. I don't know if you can see all the depth and all of the height in this. This comes from the Seashells 3D embossing folder. This is an absolute gorgeous embossing folder, and I've used just the embossing folder on this shape. I haven't used the accessories. But can you imagine what this would look like if you could then take the matching dies and you could cut out the seashells and they would pop up? What an incredible combination. So we've got the seaside seashells dies, and you can also
cut out a bunch of the pieces from the stamp set. I've used this greeting that says happy birthday to my beautiful friend, but there's a lot of other things in here as well. So you'll want to get this whole set of things. Now, a couple of other things about this card. I've used So Saffron and Bermuda Bay. Those are two of our retiring colors. I've also used the Label Me Lovely punch. That's the shape that's back here. And the Label Pick a Punch, Lovely Pick, I don't know. Anyway, gorgeous Pick a Punch, Lovely Pick a Punch. And then I've used our pastel pearls. Now, what you need to know about this is I'm going to give you a listing of all of these products. Many of them are discounted up to 60%. So I'll give you a list of those things, and of course they're all while supplies last. So you'll want to check this out and take care of these orders immediately if you want to get this product. So that's our first card, and here is our second card. Our second card is this gorgeous, gorgeous set of dies, and look at how beautiful they are. I have actually die cut this out of our copper foil. Our copper foil is leaving the line as well. I've used this gorgeous penned flower, bless you, penned flower cut out here for these dies, and I've also used our brick and mortar embossing folder. This is a great folder. I'll see if I can show it to you. It has the bricks going in this direction, but what's wonderful about it, because it's 6 by 6, you can put your paper in so your bricks can go in any direction that your piece of cardstock needs to go. Absolutely a fantastic piece there. And I've showed you a technique on how to do this antique bricking technique. And what I've done to do that is I've used two of our retiring colors. Pale Papaya is from our In Colors. Mary Merlot is being retired from our Regals collection. I've added Crumb Cake, and that's staying with us. But these fancy frames are just an incredible collection here. I used the stamps. This is a great watercolor shapes stamp set, and I've used it in a completely different way in order to use it with our bricks. So it's a fantastic technique to even make your bricks look more unique and more interesting. Of course, we've got our fancy Label Me Fancy punch that's retiring. This has been my go-to. I have used this constantly. It fits into so many different greetings. It's a workhorse in my collection. And also, this is a great greeting set, this Celebrating You greeting set. So many different things that you can put into here, from birthday to Mother's Day to anniversary, Father's Day, wedding, thoughtful baby. This is just a fantastic collection. So that is also a retiring stamp set. So I will give you a listing of everything that's retiring. Oh, and what else? I've also got some great little champagne rhinestones on here that are also retiring, as well as our cute little ribbon here that's Pale Papaya, matching, of course, our In Color ink. So a great technique. Let's move on and look at our next set of cards. Well, do you absolutely wish that you were in paradise when you see this card? This is a stunning palm tree and this gorgeous beach design. Can you see the water splatter technique here? It's just an awesome technique that you can use. We've used masking, and some great work with our blending brushes. Our blending brushes are staying, don't worry about that. But let me show you some of the things that I used for this. First of all, I used the Paradise Palm stamp set. That's where our greeting comes from. And then the palm dies. This is a great collection, and the dies that I used really I call them standalone, because they actually create the scene without the stamp set. So if you need to just grab the dies, that's available for you too. Here are the 6 colors that I used to create this scene. Pacific Point, Soft Suede, and Sahara Sand are 3 of our retiring colors, and I've used the same paper, the Pacific Point and the Sahara Sand, in the card as well, which ties everything together. The other 3 colors, Balmy Blue, Garden Green, and Granny Apple Green, those are staying in our line. They'll be available for quite some time. So that is the Paradise Palm beautiful scene. You're going to love learning this masking technique and this great water technique. Here is our next card. This one is a beautiful birthday card, and you can see that the color changes in the greeting, and we've done that with what I call sort of a modified rock and roll technique. And then look at this background. I bet you thought that was paper. It's not paper. It's actually the dry brush stamp. It's one single stamp, and I'm going to show you how to color that stamp so that you can get these 3 colors all at the same time. What a fantastic collection. What a great way to use that incredible one stamp. Now I've used the stamps, the greetings from a grandkid, and since I'm a grandmother, this is one of my very, very favorite cards. And I love that it says so smart, so fun, so sweet, and so wonderful. And then inside it says, we must be related. Isn't that fun? I just get such a kick out of sending that to my grandkids. Now the 3 colors that I used were Mango Melody, Melon Mambo, and Daffodil Delight. And Mango Melody is our color that's retiring, and that's the color of the card base here as well. Now, one of the things that I guess everybody has to be sad about something, and this is just an incredible collection of rectangular dies. They cut out the 2 layers. They nest in all kinds of combinations. I'm using them on another card as well. This has been a go-to for me to get the card layers exactly the right size for me, and just put that great little stitching line on things. So I'm actually struggling knowing that these aren't going to be in our line anymore. I've got some matching ribbon. This is the polished pink ribbon from our In Color collection. And then our champagne rhinestones. Oh my goodness, how can I live without those? Well, anyway, let's go on and look at some more of our cards and our techniques. Well, this, I have to say, is one of my absolute favorite cards. Can you see how this looks like it's almost a porcelain daisy that's up in the air? This is such an amazing card because it's done with heat embossing. So this has been heat embossed on vellum, and then using our fabulous frames dies to frame out the piece. So let me talk to you about what we used here. So first of all, here's the stamp set. It's a full stamp, it's a full card front stamp set. So I've just used a section of it to stamp on the vellum. And look at these vellum pieces. These are the lovely layers vellum pieces. There's 20 of the pieces already pre-cut for this size, and then there's some additional beautiful pieces that you can use for all kinds of other projects. And these, there's another, I don't know, there's a total of 60 pieces of vellum in this collection, and I happen to know that these are half price, so it's just $3 for this incredible collection of vellum. So what I did was I used the stamp, and when you stamp to do heat embossing, you need to have a Versamark stamp, and that's how you do your stamping. And then this is our add-on embossing kit. It's got our powder, embossing buddy. It's got a little paintbrush to get out your embossing powder back into your container, and it's even got these great little tweezers that will hold onto your piece so that you don't get your fingers too hot. And then of course our heat tool. So I'm going to walk you through the entire process of stamping on vellum and then doing a little coloring as well. What I also used was this great Peaceful Moments stamp set. This has been a go-to stamp set. I love these greetings. They're just amazing, and I've used them over and over and over again. So if this isn't already in your collection, it needs to be. So that's the stamp set. And then here's this beautiful ruffled ribbon. It just adds such a detail. Look at how beautiful that is with the ruffled edges. It just makes it look so elegant. And I've used, of course, our Label Me Fancy punch here again. So that's that card. Now let's look at this one. Look at this technique. So this is called the faux tile technique. And can you see that the tiles are actually slightly raised? That is done, I should have put this in here, with my scoring tool, and I'll show you exactly how to do the scoring on the angles with my scoring tool, my Simply Scored. It's just a fantastic technique. I'm using two of the colors that are retiring, Rich Razzleberry and Sahara Sand, and that's of course our Rich Razzleberry cardstock here as well. But this light Sahara Sand is just an absolute go-to color. It's going to be really missed as it's retired. Now, I wanted to show you also the harvest dies. So this is the stamp set that I use to do this, as well as the dies that go with this. And these are called the harvest dies. And what's wonderful about them is there's many dies that are actually stand-alone dies, so you can use them by themselves, as well as the dies that cut out the images here from the stamp set. So here I've used those images and I've colored them in with a bunch of my Stampin' Blends, and one of those collections are the Pale Papaya is a retiring color for our in colors, so you'll want to grab that right away so that you have that as well. So let's go on to our last set of cards for this class. Well, just look at this stunning card. Can you see all the detail, all the embossing on there? This is a beautiful, beautiful collection of things, and I've done that embossing with an amazing embossing folder. This is the Twigs and Sprigs embossing folder and die. So you can see that I have the one sprig that's actually been cut out. So I can use this as an embossing folder, and that's how I got those pieces. But if I go ahead and put this piece inside, so it's going to go inside, I should probably put on this way, inside here, it fits right inside here, and actually it sort of kind of has a little spot for it. And then once you have that die inside, you can put your paper in and close this up, and it will cut out all of those little shapes as well. So you can use it for both things. What a fantastic collection of embossing folder and die, and that comes all together. And you can see that this beautiful paper I've used here, this is the brushed metallic paper, and can you see it's got 3 different tones to it? It's got a light tone, a medium tone, and a dark tone, and I've used all 3 of them on this card. Here's the light tone, here's the medium tone, and here's the dark tone, all from the same collection. And this beautiful piece of designer series paper here comes from our tray sheet collection of special designer series paper, and you can see how it's got all the gold and things in there. Now you might be wondering about where the word thanks comes from. That comes from our amazing thanks dies, and they are layered. There's 2 layers, so this is the background layer, and then this is the one that lays on top, and so it says the word thanks. You can also cut off the S and say thank you, so it's got the U, and you also can say you are amazing. So it's got all those words that you can mix and match and use right on your cards. So if you look at this card, there's actually no stamping on it. I've just used the dies. And my little addition here is our So Succulent ribbon, which is just the perfect ribbon because it's right in this collection of cards of paper, and that's for part of our retiring color collection of our in colors. So the Soft Succulent and our Evening Evergreen colors are represented here as being colors that are going away, and that's why we've got the card base in our Evening Evergreen, which I just think offsets the beautiful metallic foil look really well. Well, let's look at our last card technique in this collection, and here we are with this beautiful geranium card. It's got a quilted background technique, and this is fantastic because we've got our lovely linen designer series paper, and I happen to know that this paper is deeply, deeply discounted. You'll be able to make tons and tons of quilt cards and all kinds of other cards. Really kind of a vintage look. It really reminds me of the of my grandmother's quilts. My great-grandmother used to quilt, and I still have some of those quilts. And some of these old soft colors were just what she loved to use. And what I've used to do the quilting is actually our greenery die. And this is actually a die. I don't know if you can see it, but it actually puts all the stitching in. So this card has all the stitching lines in here. It's difficult to see on camera, but it's beautiful on here as a card because it looks like it's actually a quilt that's on the background of this card. And so the geraniums, I used all the dies for the geraniums. What's wonderful about this collection is we have a stamp set that goes with it, but the dies work beautifully by themselves. So you can see the beautiful layering here of the leaves, the layering here of the geraniums, and we've got our little pot there as well. And you can see I've brought back in the rectangular stitch dies. We looked at those earlier. I've got our window pane a ribbon here. So beautiful ribbon. It's in our evening evergreen. So of course that's retiring because that color is going away. And then to add a little detail on our pot, I used a sponge dauber with our soft suede. So I can't wait to show you how to make amazing quilt cards and how to cut these with measurements that are so easy to use with just strips. You're going to love how simple this is. Well, I hope that you are going to have fun making all these cards, learning all these techniques, and grabbing all these amazing bargains while supplies last. This all ends at the end of April, but products are disappearing as we speak. So do your shopping early. Don't be disappointed. Make sure you grab the products that you want and have fun stamping.